everybody, it's Murphy Gray Hunter, and it is Tuesday evening. What time is it? It's 7 o'clock. I didn't realize it was so late. It's July 23rd. Man, we're almost at the end of this month already. All right, so I want to talk about a dream that I had. This dream that I had, what are we today? Tuesday. I had this dream, I don't know, about maybe 3 days ago, about 3 days ago, I believe. I think so. Anyway, so you guys know that I have not seen my grandmother in my dreams. I have seen my maternal grandmother plenty of times. I've seen my maternal grandmother, and my mother in my dreams. I've seen a lot of other loved ones, but never my grandmother. Well, this dream that I had, I was in my grandmother's house, and when you walk into my grandmother's house, the last time I was in my grandmother's house was when I went by there to see my father. This was years ago, and my father has been dead now for like 9 years or so. So it was before that. So let's just round it off and say I haven't been in that house in over 10 years. But anyway, a lot of things have changed in that house as far as, like, you know, furniture and stuff, but the structure is still the same. So when you walk into my grandmother's house, it's like a big it's an older house, so it's a big living room, and then there's a bedroom to this side, and then, you know, it's a bathroom. It's a Jack and Jill bathroom from this bedroom to my big bathroom, and then my grandmother's bedroom back there. And then on this side, if you go through the big living room, there's like a big arch. You know how those older houses have those big arches, and you just kind of go through and you go into the formal dining area. Then through the formal dining area, you go to the back where the kitchen is. But in the formal dining area to the right was her witchy room. And remember, we were never allowed to go in that witchy room. But anyway, so now they have, since my father had been living there, my grandmother passed away, they have added more rooms, and my father built an extension of my grandmother's room, and made an extra room. Anyway, those rooms back there are the ones that have the most activity in that house. So anyway, in my dream, I was in my grandmother's house, and I was in that front living room. And I remember on each side of the doorway, the opening, the arch, we're just going to call it the arch. On each side of the arch was these built-in shelves, right? And now she didn't have built-in shelves at all. But in this dream, there were both built-in shelves on this side, like on each side. And they were a very dark colored wood. And they had, it was like those people who like hand carve things, and they put like cute little images like of horses or whatever in it. Well, it had like some of those. On the very top, it had this animal. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a horse or a dog. I have no clue. I can't remember what the animal was, but it was, you could see it like it was carved in there. And then they were tall, very, very tall, all the way up to the ceiling. And they had a lot of drawers and shelves. Like you open it up, like a cabinet, you open it up, and there was like little doors, and they would have little things in there, right? Kind of like an armoire, but mixed in with like a big entertainment. So imagine a big entertainment center that holds a TV and all that, with all the little nooks and crannies, but they like an armoire. They were all closed. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I can't think of it, what it's called. Anyway, so there was one here, and then there was one on the other side of the archway, and then there was one over there against the other wall by the door. And so I was opening up man, I can hear the cicadas all the way up here. They're outside, like a jungle outside. So I was opening up all of the cabinets, and there were things in there, right? I could see things in there, and there was someone there with me. I don't know if there was a person or if it was my guide, it was an ancestor. I don't know who it was, but there was somebody there with me, you know, because I was on a ladder. Number one, y'all know I'm afraid of heights. I wouldn't be on a ladder, but I was on a ladder, and I kept looking through things, and I kept saying, I gotta keep looking. And whoever this was, I don't know if it was a man or it was a woman, but I want to say it was a male. It felt like it was a male presence because it felt like it was a big male, like tall. And I can't remember what it looked like. And I'm saying it because I don't know if it was a male or female, but I'm pretty sure it was a male. Pretty sure. Because I can hear his voice. So let's just say it's a male. And he was saying, we got to get out of here. We have to leave. And I kept saying, no, I have to keep looking. I have to keep looking. And so I'm looking through there, and I found like my grandmother's book. But it's not a book. It's not a book like this where it has like, you know, the front, you know, the hardcover, like this part. It was just the inside. It had no cover. It was just this part. Just the pages. So I was up there, and I had the pages in my hand, and I remember looking at the pages, and they were like a very old brown paper, and they were about this size. They're about this size they're about this size here. And so I could see them, and I could see like, not only were there little papers like there was also some big ones, like 11 by 14 size, right? And then this size. But I had them in my hand, and they were attached together, like sewn together, the pages, right here, like on the binding. And they were all withered, and there were some stuff written on it, but it looked like it was written in pencil. So you know when things are written in pencil, and over the years, it's really hard to read. There were some things written in pencil, and there were some things written in an ink. I can't tell you what the words say, but I can still see like things that were written on there. I already wrote those down. They were just like symbols, and they were just like it probably could have been gibberish. And when I say symbol, I'm not talking like a seal or a sigil. I don't know. They were just like little things. Again, because it was in a dream, and it was so very, very light that I could barely see it. And I could see like my grandmother's handwriting. You know, I could see it. I couldn't make out if it was English, if it was native, if it was Spanish. I don't know what it was written in. Because y'all remember my grandmother is native and my grandfather is German, and they could not speak English. But the way that they spoke to each other is back then they spoke the universal language, which was Spanish for the part of Texas that they were in. So they both knew Spanish, and that's how they communicated, because he couldn't speak native and she couldn't speak German. So I don't remember what way this was written. So anyway, and I had the pages in my hand, and I just kept looking. I just kept feeling this excitement having it. So then I got down off of that, and again, he kept telling me, we got to leave. We got to get out of here. Let's go. And so I went over to the second shelf, and I'm looking through it, right? And I'm looking through all the shelves, and on the very top shelf, where it's like where the horse or the animal, whatever that is, that was like engraved in it. It was on the very top. So imagine seeing like it was round like this on the very top of the shelf. It was kind of round like a peak, right? Like this. And then the shelf went out. Kind of like a temple, right? So on the very top, I opened up that one, and I could see there was some pages. Because I kept saying, there's some pages missing. There's pages missing. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the rest of the book. And so I'm looking, and I see the page, and and he's behind me, like telling me, we got to go. Like I could hear it in his voice. And I look over to the other dresser thing, whatever it was. And my grandmother is there. My grandmother's standing there. And now when I see my maternal grandmother, like my mother's mother and my mother, they're young and they're beautiful, they're healthy, they're like very beautiful. And like I said, they're young. The first time I saw my maternal grandmother, I didn't even know who it was because I've never seen my grandmother like in her 30s. That's what she looked like. They were in their 30s. Anyway, my grandmother didn't look like that. She looked like something else, but I knew it was my grandmother. And she was standing there, and she had this dress on, like a dress. It had like, it looked like a, you know, like a man's button-down shirt, the short sleeve ones that old grandpas wear, you know, the short sleeve with the button down. And it was plaid. It was blue and white plaided, but it was a dress, and it had buttons all the way down, and it gathered here in the waist. And she had her little white socks on and her black little witchy shoes that she used to wear. That's what we call them. And she had her hair in a bun, and she had her glasses. But when I last saw my grandmother, she was in a wheelchair, and she couldn't talk or, you know, move her hands or anything. But anyway, and she's standing there, but she's just looking at me, right? She's not smiling or anything. She's just looking at me. And all of a sudden, these dresses, dresses come floating out of this armoire. These dresses, they were like ball gowns, like old-timey, old-fashioned ball gowns. And I remember they had the big poofy shoulders with the gathering here at the elbow, and they were long down to the wrist. And they had like, one had like what do you call that material? Like a sheer material right here, like a peekaboo effect, so you can see like cleavage. But it was a dark one, was a very dark emerald green. There was another one that looked, and it was blue, and there was another one that was kind of gray with like little flowers on it. And it looked like there was a body in it, but there was no body. I couldn't see the body. I could see the dresses floating, right? I saw the 3 dresses floating, and they kept coming closer to me, and he kept saying, "We got to get out of here. We need to leave now." Like, he kept saying that to me, and I could hear his urgency, like fear, right? And I kept trying to reach for that paper. I'm like, let me just get that last paper. It was like one big sheet, and I was like, let me just grab that. And I was trying to grab it, and all of a sudden I turned around. Those dresses were right there, and they wanted to dance with me. These dresses were trying to dance with me, and they were like taking me, and we were kind of like just like, I guess, floating, but we were dancing, right? I know, right? What did I eat before I went to sleep? But I'm like, you know, I'm dancing with them, and I just remember like I didn't feel fear, and I didn't feel love. I didn't feel anything. Like, it just happened in the moment, right? And then all of a sudden, everything was gone. Like, my grandmother was gone, the dresses were gone, he was gone, all that was gone. And I was just like in a blank room, right? And I felt like the room was just like blank, like literally like blank. Like, imagine me in a room that's all white, kind of like that, just standing there. And I remember like knowing that it was me, but I felt very uneasy. Like, I felt dirty. I felt like there was something wrong with me. And I was just like, I couldn't figure it out. It was like what it was. I was just like, I just felt very uneasy. Almost like when you have an outer body experience, or like when you see on TV how people leave their bodies, you know, they're laying in their bodies, and that you see their bodies floating away. Well, it was like that. I felt like I was having an outer body experience, but I was like seeing myself standing there, but I was still connected to myself, if that makes sense. Like, I'm seeing myself stand there, but I'm still connected to myself. I can still feel what I'm feeling, and I feel very confused, and I don't really like seem like myself. So anyway, I walked to another part of the room, and there's like a mirror there. And when I turn and I look at myself in the mirror, it's my body, my shape, my hair, my everything. But my face was a demon's face. Like, I had demon eyes. My face was like distorted. Like when you become possessed, that's what it was like. And I remember I looked at myself and I started like screaming, because this is me. This thing is inside me. And my husband woke me up, because he said I was like screaming in my sleep. and he woke me up. And so I told him about the dream that I was really like scared, right? I was really scared that I had this dream, and I hadn't been thinking about my grandmother or the book. I hadn't been thinking about none of that. I mean, I have been replying to comments that were left on the last video that I made about my grandmother. And I just told my husband, I said, you know, this just really concludes what I've been saying. This really concludes how I feel about the whole situation. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. My husband telling me he's going to the store. Okay, so I told my husband, this really does conclude what I've been, you know, like really just concludes this for me, how I've been feeling about the whole situation. Again, you know, like, I don't know, it's because I was replying to comments that I had this like in my head. One second. Sorry, that was my daughter. Where's Dad going? Where's Dad? Dad is going to the store. Okay. Again, I'm sorry. I just want to say, I don't know, it's because, you know, I was replying to comments that it was, you know, in my head, or I'm reading this book right now, the Satan's Harvest, Lorraine and Ed Warren, one of their true cases of demonic possessions. It's really good. I don't know if it was a combination of that or if it really was a message, but I told my husband, I'm taking this as a message. This is telling me, like, girl, you gotta stay away from that. Like, I don't want anything to do with my grandmother's book. I would love to have it for all the reasons why I told y'all, you know, but at this point, I think that person, that male figure, was my guide or an ancestor or something good, trying to warn me, trying to help me. Because when the moment of truth came up, that I was going to be a greedy ass and say, oh, I want the book. Because even though I've been going back and forth, and I told my husband, even though I've been going back and forth, and in my mind, I know that I shouldn't take my grandmother's book because it could be tainted with something. It could bring chaos into my life. There's so many possibilities of negative things happening. And I don't live in this house by myself. I share my life with my daughter and, you know, and my husband. And I don't want to force them into a life because I made, you know, a bad life because I made a bad choice. And so I told him, I said, even though I know that's what the right thing to do, but when time came and my aunt came and said, here's the book, you can have it. If that was it, how easy it is just to take it. Just to take it and take it home with me and invite something horrible into my life. Who knows? Maybe there's nothing. Maybe there's nothing to the book. Maybe I'm making more of this than there really is. But I told my husband, but I don't know that. And I do know how my grandmother was. And if I don't remember, there's plenty of people who remind me how my grandmother was. My mother was one of those. Before she passed away, we had this long conversation about my grandmother again. And she really told me what a sweet person she was. Yes, but there was another side to her. And anyway, so long story short with all this, I just told my husband, I'm no longer going to try to find this book. I'm not going to say anything about it anymore. I'm just going to write what I know, what I remember, write about my grandmother's memories and put her pictures and all the things, even this dream that I'm having. I'm going to document all of this, you know, in my book that I have for my family, and leave it at that. Because I think that there is something warning me, it could be a warning. And you know, a lot of us have dreams, or we have a message sent to us it's a warning, and we don't take it serious. And then we're like, oh my God, that was a warning, you know. And so I definitely don't want to pass that up. And I just told my husband, I don't think that I would make the right choice when it came down to it. This is showing me that I wouldn't make the right choice. This is showing me that if that book came to my possession and all I had to do was take it, I would take it. I would take it because it's something that I really want. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what I may think. I want that book. I want it. I want it. I want it for a variety of reasons. at this point, I wanted it so bad because it, you know, when you want something so bad and you just, at this point, it becomes a challenge, you know, and I wanted the book to pass on as a legacy for my grandmother because witchcraft means so much to me. My family line means so much to me. The fact that there's something that being a witch is something that connects myself, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my aunts, and so on. It's so wonderful for me to have that connection because being a witch, it means so much to me. And I really wanted to have that book because it was my grandmother's book and because I wanted to take value for what it was. And I also wanted to be able to read it and use it if I could. Use the information that my grandmother had, her knowledge that she had, and be able to gain more knowledge that I have from the book. You know, because I don't have my grandmother here anymore. So I thought, well, having her book would be great because all of her secrets are in there. You know, I wanted it for that. I wanted so I could pass it down. Like, there's just so many reasons, good and bad reasons why I wanted it. You know, I would be a fool to sit here and tell myself and say, if my aunt said, here Murphy, here's a book. I'd be, oh no, I'm going to pass up on it because it might cause chaos. I ain't going to do that. I'm like, thank you very much. Let's run. You know, I would take it. And so, you know, I know, like, no, that's the wrong thing to do. But I'm just keeping it real and telling you how it is. I would, and I take this dream as a warning. You know, I have a lot of visions. My grandmother had the gift of sight, as she calls it. I have it. One of my daughters has it as well. And I don't always just get messages in my dreams. Sometimes I can be at a stoplight and I'll see something, you know, and I definitely take this. I've not ever seen my grandmother before. And whatever that was not my grandmother. Whatever that thing was not her. It was not her. It looked like her, but it wasn't her. Because I didn't feel anything, like nothing, that it was her, you know. And whatever he was trying to protect me, trying to keep me away from that. And I honestly believe that that's what it was. It was a message to me and telling me that I'm going to be faced with temptation by that book, and I'm going to have to be strong enough to walk away from it. And so maybe I just won't go see my aunt anymore because maybe I'm not strong enough to walk away from it. At this point, I'm not. But even though I'm telling you this, I know. And so what I do is I just keep myself away from the things that will cause me, you know, temptation until I have that kind of willpower. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it kind of sucks, like, because I don't know, who knows, who knows, but I'm going to take it as a warning. And, you know, I really hate that. I really hate that I can't, have my grandmother's book. I really hate all this time that I've been trying to get it. I never wanted anything harmful or anything hateful. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I just wanted a piece of my grandmother. I wanted something that she and I had together. I'm not very close to a lot of my family members. And with my grandmothers, both of my grandmothers, I was close to both of my grandmothers. And, you know, I just really wanted that. You know, I really wanted that. I really wanted to have that. With my maternal grandmother, I have her handkerchief. And it still smells like her perfume. My grandmother's been gone for so long. And I still see her. She comes and visits me in my dreams. I see her. When the very first time I saw her, I was really, really in a bad place. And she came in my dream, and I woke up and she was hugging my daughter. And then she came and gave me a hug and told me everything's going to be okay. I was going through some horrible stuff at that time. And she's always been there for me. And I've always felt that love. And I always know it's love. I always know that I never, like, it's always genuine. But from that I saw was not my grandmother. It wasn't. It was like a decoy, like bait or something, you know. And so, you know, so I just told my husband, I'm like, I'm taking this as a warning. And he's like, so, you know, you're not gonna try to get information anymore. I'm like, no, I'm done with that. I know when to walk away. I know when to tap out. I know when to tap out. And I know that some of you guys may think like, oh, you know, you're quitting on this. And I don't want to quit on this. But again, I don't live by myself. I don't live alone. I live with my husband and my child. And not only that, but I have 4 other girls. They don't live in the house with me, but, you know, they're always here. I have grandchildren. Do I really want to bring chaos? You know, do I really want to bring chaos into my life? My life is so good. My life is happy. I'm happy. My husband is home. You know, we're all in a good place. Do I really want to invite chaos into my life? No, I don't. So you have to know when to tap out and just not put myself in temptation. I just won't. You know, there are more important things. And so I will be the next legacy for my kids. Like I said, I'll just continue to write down everything that I've learned from my grandmother and all this whole journey of me trying to get my grandmother's book. I'll write every single thing down like I have been and let it be known that at this point, I just don't want to even go against a straight warning that this is going to happen. You know, this is going to happen. No, do I think I'm going to get possessed by some demon? I don't know. Anything is possible. Like I said, maybe that book is just filled with recipes on how to heal someone. But again, we know my grandmother. You know, our family knows our grandmother. We know things that she's done. And so we know there's more to it than just that. But I was like, oh my God, I got to make a YouTube video and let them know. So yeah, I hope I don't disappoint anybody by letting you guys know that I'm, you know, and those of y'all who have reached out to me and have tried to give me helpful tips on how to get my grandmother's book, you know, I truly appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me and letting me know, you know, ways that you guys could help, or giving me your opinion, letting me know, girl, run away, you know, or yes, you should keep trying. I really appreciate all of your feedback. Whatever feedback you've given me, I really do appreciate that a lot. I read and value everyone's thoughts and opinions and advice. You know, and so, you know, you can't put something out there. You can't put something out there and not expect to get only positive feedback. Thank goodness everyone has been so positive. But like I'm saying, that you can't put yourself out there or a problem out there and expect that you're only going to get good feedback. Like, you're putting your business out there, so be prepared for what you might hear. So I always am, and I'm always so grateful for whatever anybody says. I mean, you know, constructive criticism is one thing, but being downright cruel is another. But, you know, everybody's been so grateful. Like, I'm so grateful for everybody being so nice, I should say that, and giving me, you know, their honest opinion. But yeah, you know, like I said, it is what it is. And I hate that term, but it really is. It is what it is at this point. I value my family more than I do this book. And I feel like it's going to show itself, and I'm going to get tempted, and I got to walk away, because something horrible could happen. And, you know, I say this because I've had 3 dreams this last week, this last 7 to 10 days, about the devil. I kid you not. It's either the devil or demons. I mean, I've had reoccurring, well, these have not been reoccurring nightmares. These have been all new ones, and they've been nightmares, and it all has to do with demons. And again, it might be because I'm reading that book on demons, or because my husband wants to watch freaking devil movies at midnight. And, you know, I'm like, you know, like, I can only take so much. So, I mean, that could be, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that's enough to scare me. And then we had, okay, this is a very long story, but you guys remember my daughter, who has the Charlie doll and who has haunted objects in her house? Well, she came to stay with me for 4 days. And after she left, we started, like a few days after she left, started hearing some activity in the house. And you know, I cleanse, protect my house on a constant basis, like every month. I kid you not. It is a routine with me. Sometimes I have to do it more, I will. But we were downstairs. My husband and I were in our bedroom, and right above our bedroom is the guest bathroom. And this was in the middle of the night. It was literally after 3 o'clock in the morning. I know 3 o'clock is always a bewitching hour, but it was really like between 3 and 4. And he was in the bathroom, and I was standing there. I don't know what I was doing, but I was standing there, and I was getting ready to go into the bathroom, and heard this huge noise upstairs, right? And he came out of the bathroom like, what's that? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it sounded like it came from upstairs. Our daughter's sleeping upstairs. So he quickly goes to see what's happened. And he looks at her room and everything's fine. He went to every single room. Everything was fine. He goes, I don't see anything. The bell or anything. He didn't go into the bathroom, the guest bathroom up here, where my daughter has her, we have a bathroom up here, and my daughter uses it as her own bathroom, and it's also the guest bathroom. And so the next morning, my daughter and I were going to go somewhere. This is my 11-year-old. And we were going to go somewhere, and she couldn't open the bathroom door because the shelves have come out. Now, I'm sorry. She has one of those shelves, like you get the 3-drawer shelves that you get like at Walmart, the plastic ones, not the clear ones. This was like a little fancier one. It's all brown and it looks like fake wood, but it's a plastic bin. Those 3-drawer plastic bins, you know what I'm talking about. 2 of those drawers were out. They came out and they were laying in front of the door. So she couldn't open the door, right, to get into the bathroom. So there's no way that she could have done that because she wouldn't have been able to get out. She couldn't even get in because they were blocking it. So I was like, okay. So that I took that as a sign that something, but see, before that, I forgot to tell you this part. Before the drawers, earlier that day, we had came home, and it was about 6, 7-ish at night, and it was already kind of getting dark. And we opened up the door. When you open up our front door and you look up the stairs, you can see like some of the man cave, and you can see the hallway that goes into my the classroom, right? And the door was open and the light was on. And I said, hey, Derek, you left the light on upstairs. Because the classroom, he was up there doing some work on the computer. He goes, I didn't go in the classroom. He goes, I went upstairs to my man cave and I got something, and when we left, but all the lights were off. And then Jake goes, yeah, that light's been coming on and off. I'm like, since when? She goes, it's been a couple of days. It's like, okay. So I didn't think nothing of it. That night is when the drawers came out. So the next day, I cleansed the whole house. I cleansed like every single room, like when I'm talking about cleansing, I did a deep cleansing, opened every drawer. I even opened the washer and dryer, my stove, drawers, closets, everything, top to bottom. This house, I don't do drugs. I really don't. I'm such a square. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't know what it smells like. I've never been around people, maybe like in my younger days, but that's been so long ago. And so my husband, he walks in, he goes, this smells like a weed house. I'm like, what? And because I was burning sage, and I told him, no, I'm burning sage. And he goes, man, it smells really, really strong in here. Because I mean, I was just smoking it up. And so I told him, I said, okay. He didn't have to go to work until like the next night. And so I said it should air out by that time. Because if it smells like weed, I don't want him to go to work with that smell on him, right? And I was using like a white sage smudge bundle. And a smudge stick, right? A big one. And I was also burning Palo Santo. And camphor. And so he says, the next day, I was having a live video with my Coven sisters, and I was talking about this same thing that I was talking about. The same time when I was talking about all other kinds of things. The minute that I started talking about me cleansing and all that, Jade is sitting downstairs with me talking. My husband's asleep, and we hear the same noise. And she goes, oh my God, that's the drawers. So Jay takes off running and goes upstairs. She goes, the drawers came out again. I'm like, God dang. Oh, so okay. So then I'm like, okay, I have to do it again, because it was telling me like, I'm still here. So I had to do the whole entire house again. And mind you, now everything's gone, everything's cleared, everything's good. But I think that it came with my daughter. My daughter has a lot of Oogie Boogies in her house. She likes it that way. This is another whole video that I can do with her if you guys are interested, because she would love to be on my YouTube and she could talk about all the things that happen in her house. So if y'all want to hear all the things that happen in my daughter's house, her stories that happen, just let me know. Yes, make a video with your daughter. Then I will go over there, or I'll go over there, because I don't want her bringing her little friends over here. And we'll make a video talking about things in her house. But anyway, so we haven't had any problems since then. It was just those little bitty things that happen. But you know, here's my thing. You know, and my daughter told me, she goes, well, you know, Mom, I wasn't going to say anything to you because, you know, I didn't want you to get upset. But when I was there, I heard some scratching on the guest bedroom door. Where I'm in the guest bedroom's closet, right? You guys know this is my, hold on, let me show you. This is my office. It's a closet to the guest bedroom. It's big. I use it as my own personal office. This is the door right there. Right there. Oh no, it's Jason. Right there. That door is for the outside of the guest bedroom. The guest bedroom's right here. So she said that, and I go, why wouldn't you tell me? I didn't want you to get upset. No, you don't tell me if you broke something of mine, if you accidentally took one of my lotions or whatever. You don't tell me about those things. That you can keep to yourself. But to not tell me that there was some scratching on the door, those are things I need to know. I guess because to her and her house, it's normal. So anyway, but yeah, she was, and I felt something in your house. Yeah, it was one of your friends that you brought over here. So I'm claiming, you know, I did the whole thing, and yeah, we haven't had any problems since then. Thank goodness. But so what I'm saying is just that little bit of activity we had in the house was enough to tell me that I would never want to invite any chaos into our household. You know, and bringing my grandmother's book, if it could potentially have anything attached to it that would bring chaos and anything that could torment me, my husband, my daughter, I wouldn't do. Because just that little bit was enough to show me that, hey, don't forget, there are a lot of Oogie Boogies out there. There are a lot of Oogie Boogies that are a lot worse than this, that will take a lot more than just what I did to get rid of that. And so just that, and of course the dream that I had, let me know that I seriously think that was a message coming loud and clear. Like, I hear you, and you know, and I lit a candle up for my guides, for my ancestors, whoever it was that was there helping me. Like, you know who you are. This candle is for you, for looking out for me, and it's showing me that what I would do, and that showing me that what I would do, I would cave and I would take it. I would choose to, no, I just need to get it. You know, no, let it go. You know, and let me know that I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to walk away from it. So I just have to remove myself from the whole situation and not put myself in temptation. You know, that's really what it comes down to. And I have willpower. I'm vegan. Trust me, I have a lot of willpower. I didn't stop eating animal products because I didn't like the taste of it. I stopped eating animals because I didn't like what our animals had to go through. You know, the whole ethical reason behind it. And so I have a lot of willpower. In the very beginning, it was hard for me to go around certain things, like especially barbecue. I used to love barbecue brisket. I'm a Texan, you know, like, but I would not go to barbecues, and I wouldn't go around places that we have barbecue places all over the place. Like, I'm every corner a barbecue place, and I would purposely not go to these places because, you know, I knew that I was going to have to fight my willpower, because what I stood for meant more to me than, you know, my pleasure of having a brisket taco, you know. And so but now I'm cool. You can put me right in the middle of I've been vegan almost 5 years, over 5 years now. You can put me right in the middle of a barbecue, you know, contest. I'm not going to budge. I could be starving and I would not eat a plate of food of animal products. That's just me. That's how far I've come, you know, in my beliefs and what I stand for. I don't expect anyone to feel the same way I do. I don't expect anyone to understand it, but I'm just saying that's what I believe in. That's how much being a vegan means to me. That's how much animals mean to me, that I found this willpower to stand up for my beliefs. So in the beginning, it was hard because I knew in my mind, don't eat that. Don't eat that brisket sandwich, because this is what they did to the cow. But I would cave and I would eat it. But now it won't bother me at all, even on an empty stomach, and my stomach is growling. I won't eat it. I won't. And I've been put to that test. I won't. So that's how I feel about the book. I'm not in the right state of mind to walk away from the book. So what am I going to do? Not put myself in temptation, not put myself around it. So I just won't go around my aunt. And if I have to block her number, I will, because I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want anything to do with the book anymore, because I just think it could be dangerous. So I am going to be my daughter's new legacy. I am going to pass down all the memories and stories and everything that I have been collecting all this time. I'm going to pass that down to my girls. I have a book that I've been writing for my girls, and it's called Thoughts for My Daughters. And because I have 5 girls, and in this book I write everything like memories, like memories when I was a kid, or memories when they were children, or just things that go on in life. Like when my oldest has her first baby, what I want to say to her, or what I really thought about a situation, but didn't want to say anything because it's not my place to, because my children are grown. If they have a significant other in their life and I don't care for them, it doesn't matter, because this is who my daughter chooses to be with. Therefore, you are part of our family. But, so there's a lot of things that I want to say to my kids, but either I don't want to say it now, or maybe later on in life. Like, when my grandson grows up and he graduates high school, what I want to say to him. Because I look at it like this: if something happens to me tomorrow, where are they going to get those memories from? Like, what are they going to have? You know, how is my legacy going to pass on through them? So, I mean, only by what they already know, but they don't know what it was like when I was little, when I was dating, or what my first kiss was like, or how scared I was when I had my first daughter, or the things, the good, the bad, the ugly. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to know everything. It's everything about my life, about what I want them to know. And I've been writing this book for them for a long time now. And so in that book, you know, I've been writing about this as well. But I'm working on a book just for family. And in that book, what I'm doing is printing pictures, and I'll print a picture. And I have a picture of my great-great-grandfather. Great-great-grandfather. Yes, my great-great-grandfather. I have a picture of him, and it's a really old picture, but I have it, and some information on him with his name, and, you know, information like his date of birth and all that, and a little bit about him. Our family DNA testing, you know, what we are, all of the mixtures that we are, you know, and where our roots are, you know, the village that my grandfather came from Germany, the tribe that we come from, you know, like all these things that are so important. Both sets of grandparents are dead. You know, I don't have any more grandparents. Both sets are dead. Step grandparents are dead. My father is dead. My mother is dead. My uncle is gone. My other aunt is gone. You know, like, there's so many of, you know, like, all my family is disappearing. We're the next generation. I told my sister, like, we're the next generation. You know, so I have to start thinking about this, because I don't want my girls to go and not have these important memories. I want that for them, you know. So I've been writing this book for a while, and I'm going to continue working on the family book. And so I'll get like pictures of family that I have, and I'll put them in there. or if it's like, I have a picture of my, my girls when they were with their cousins on Easter, and I put like what I remember about that day, and just some memories, you know, so that when they get older, they have that. And, because I wish I would have had that. So anyway, now I'm just rambling. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and let y'all know about this, the dream that I had, the message that I got. And, you know, I totally am going to, listen to this message, and I'm going to, value it for what it is and take it as a warning. It is a warning. And I don't want to do the what ifs. Well, what if? What if it's not bad? But what if it is? What are you going to do? How do you fight something you can't see? How do you get rid of something that you can't see? You know, how do you keep your family safe from something that you can't see? You can't just lock the door because it's inside the house with you. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in that position. I don't. I love my family too much. Too much. Sorry, Grandma. I love you. I wish it could have worked, but it's not. I definitely, I don't play with fire. Nope. I don't even like the heat. All right, guys. Let me know what y'all think about this. You know, if you are a person who analyzes dreams, please feel free to tell me what this means. If you don't want to put it in the message, please find me on Facebook. I'm under Murphy Gray Hunter. Find me and send me an inbox. You know, send me a message. You know, you guys have my Instagram. I don't know what I'm on. Murphy Gray Hunter. My Instagram. All my social media is Murphy Gray Hunter. Let me know what you think. You know, let me know what you think. And if you think that I'm making the right decision, because I feel like I'm making the right decision. My husband is also, I told my husband, no matter what, don't ever let me take that book. Don't ever let me just venture off and say, well, let me go. No. You stop me. Do you hear me? He's like, yes, I will. So, you know, just let me know. Let me know y'all's thoughts. All right, guys. This was fun. As always, love you all and blessed be. Bye.